Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. You?
I'm good, thank you. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
You
So,
can hear me good.
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. I can.
I haven't come on live in a while, so they've blocked my live, so I can only come on live when I'm with somebody. I can't come on my own.
Oh, what?
Yeah, yeah,
What kind
yeah.
of rule is this? It's like you need a minder.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. But honestly, we've got like 19 people watching already. Thank you guys so much for joining.
All
Guys,
right.
if you don't know, this is my friend Bruno. Bruno, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Bruno. Not that I don't really have too much of a big introduction, but only along the way you'll have my interests. I'm a music guy. I a bit of philosophy, but most of all a humanitarian. I just like things. I would like to see things right. So I open my mouth just so that people can remember. We all know it already, just to remember things. So not too much of a big introduction, but I'm Bruno anyway.
Look, we've got people saying hi, Bruno, to you.
Hi, 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 Maria. Hi.
So,
Yeah,
me and Bruno met. When did we meet? Saturday. When was the
I think that
Palestinian
was
march in London? That
two
was the day I
two
met
weeks
you.
ago. Last week or the week, not last week or the week before.
My brain is fuzzy because I can't keep up
Yeah,
with my days. But
I know.
I
Yeah.
met him when I went down to London. I was like, hey, this is a pizza place here. I'm starving. I need to go grab some food. And then I met Bruno, and over food, like my brother, my friend, we were like speaking with Bruno, and it was the best thing ever because you know what? When people connect with each other, like it's not by accident. It is accidentally on purpose because it's just divine destiny that we were meant to meet, we were meant to speak, and from like one thing, it led to another. Right now, like we've been speaking about so many things, but we just thought, let's make a start, let's put it out to the public, and let's just talk about things we need to talk about because there's not enough people doing that in the world, right?
Yeah, true, true. We need, as I said before, we need to just talk about it. That's what we got to do because, we need to, know our place as men and women. Men and women, we just need to know that we just have to just do what is right as far as we can, because not everything you do that's right, that's wrong in somebody's eyes is wrong for you. You had to do what you had to do. So you alone can live with your conscience. So that's one of the things when we're talking about no peace, no justice, right? you know?
Yeah. Did you like my poster? Did you like my poster, guys? Did you like
No,
it,
no,
Bruno?
no. It's simple and effective. That's just what it is. It's straight to the. Seriously, I like it. It's simple and effective. Like, and you did that so quick. I said, "Oh, you have the poster already," and I just think, "Ching, ching,"
I was like, oh my
and
God, I was meant to do it yesterday. I got so busy. I'm going to do it now. I did it within like 5, 10 minutes. And I was like, is this okay?
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's marvelous. And again, that's the thing about it. With again, we human beings, men and women, when we take in charge of what we're doing, most of all ourselves, because it looked like everybody now wants to take in charge of what anybody else say, what everybody else do, and themselves. The same as with the genders of the men and women. Women wants to watch what men doing, and men want to watch what women doing. But we're not men and women. When we conquer that, then we can not even. We still don't have to go and venture. We can enjoy the rest of the things. But we don't have to think for you to be a man, you have to take control of something for you to be a man. You were born a man already. All you have to do is to try and enhance that manhood, right? But you cannot use that manhood or that womanhood to, put somebody down in any kind of a way for you to feel like, yes, I'm the man or the woman, So the first battle is with ourself, our soul, our mind. Just
Yeah.
ground ourselves. Anyway, I'll let you.
But I don't know if you know this, Bruno, but in Islam, we have this thing called the nafs, and there's like levels of ourself that we have to get to know.
Right.
And sometimes your own self can be your biggest enemy. and
Yes.
conquering your own biggest enemy. You can be your own biggest critic. You can be your own biggest supporter. People can be overconfident. There's all these different qualities that come from the self. You either push yourself to do good or you push yourself to do bad.
Mhm.
And that all comes down to yourself. And at the end of the
True.
day, it's like you have so much if you have so much self control over the self, you can amount to anything. You can conquer the world. You can, the world is your oyster. But if you
And
put these limitations on yourself,
yes,
then that's on you.
yeah, yeah. And but you see, we can say that. I'm not really opposing what you're saying, but I need to add something because as we know, as we all human beings, we have an idea of what direction to go, but we are dragged back by the same thing that pretends to help you along the way. So this is our thing there, right? And that same thing is very much invisible, right? Because when somebody puts a law there, the law, like when, for me, that's why when people say don't listen to the news and those things, because the reason why, because a lot of people don't understand why not to watch it, and they need to understand the way programming works. You see, as soon as somebody says something, it implants in your brain and it can manifest, especially if it's collectively, right? It's more powerful. Now, we need to stop having other influences in, like when you especially when we're growing up. That's why they snatch the kids from young, because somebody feel they can influence them to do this or whatever,
100%.
so but we need our influences from young to be very, let you be a kid when you're a kid, like nowadays when you're a kid, you feel you need to be smarter, the smartest person in the room. But we, again, like I said, we need to respect, and it's, you're not lower in the chain, but you just need to respect your level. And the people that are teaching you from kid need to let you know your place. Because like I explained some time ago, a bicycle, if the chain of a bicycle is on the handlebar and the seat is on the wheel, how it functioning, how it going, everything have to accept where it is to make the whole thing function and move, in unison, anyway.
100%. I totally agree with you. And so, for example, like if there's a team of people doing like some good work, it's important to have set roles. So, number one, you're not stepping on each other's toes, but also to make sure that role is fulfilled and done to the best of that person's ability. And it's not all on one person, so that one person is not doing everything, which is nice. Um, are you gonna save this live onto your page, Bruno?
Save it.
Yeah. So
Yes,
then what
I
we
will.
do is later on we can tell people to refer back to it, and then I can send them to your page and they could watch it back again.
Yes, yes, I will save it.
Thank
Definitely.
you. On anyone watching, if you guys have any questions, if you guys want to pick at Bruno's brains, my brains, if you have any thoughts, any topics that you want us to cover, then just let us know. We're just kind of talking about everything in general right now because we're the same type of
Yeah.
personality. We're just like so away with our thoughts. We just wanted to a little bit of focus right now.
Yeah,
Um,
just a conversation on a level, just a
honestly,
humanly conversation,
yeah, we're
because
all
like
human
we
here.
need to
We are
start,
all human.
yeah, we need to start conversing because, it's communication is the key. We need to start conversing unbiasedly, you see?
100%.
Because a lot of people say, "Oh, Bruno, you're confident and this and that." No, just because, not because I am right, but I'm coming in my truth. Now, if you think you are truthful of what you're doing, it to the weaker ones, it comes like, "Oh, you overcome." But in fact, everything is a good thing unless you use it in the wrong direction,
Yeah,
right? So, if you're coming from the root of where you're coming from is most of all truth, you ready to break barriers with your mouth, with your eyes, with your physical, with your everything, because you're coming in truth, and you can stand and fight in whatever form you need to fight. um, but
and Bruno,
yeah, so
actually, I had a question for you. With
uh-huh.
all of these atrocities happening in the world, and so many people suffering and pain, and um, so many countries that are like colonizing other countries. What are your current thoughts on that happening in modern times?
Right. Now, with this happening in modern times, I see it as something that have been boiling up for a long time, as we know history already, right? And it's boiling up for a long time. And what I personally see is that the chaos that's going there at the moment, the people we call they have the powers that be, right? Now they think they're at a stage where the people are so dumb and they're in control because number one, they came with this, pandemic thing and everybody kind of feeling on edge. So now whilst our head is dizzy, but the thing is they get greedy. So they're fighting amongst themselves. Right now, we're in the time where they're fighting amongst themselves to control us. Because now we're weak, we are distracted, and they're now thinking, hey, it's me that's supposed to do it, and this one is saying, no, I have more money than you, and this one is, so they're fighting amongst themselves, because it says it in history, it says in history books, it says it, because remember, these powers that be have a pattern, we as human beings, we are that's why they cannot control us. Because we can do something different. 1 minute we're in love, and next minute we just think, yo, fuck you, I have a career to do. We can change our minds. We're
Our
not
emotions
robotic.
take over.
Huh?
Our
Yeah,
emotions can take over.
right. So because we are humans, right? And with them, they only about what is success to them, is it's pure, it's vanity. We all can see it, right? It's to own something, to own the most things on top of the hill and with the glass and everything. And I don't blame somebody to if they work hard to get whatever they want. But we have to remember, right? When you're on your TV with your pile of money and this and that, and then I was thinking we came on earth as human beings to try and make shit. How can you be happy alone? I mean, if I have everything I have in life, right? House on the hill, my swimming pool, my champagne, my split, whatever I drink or eat. And I am just by myself watching the view. How depressing that is for me. Really and
Nobody to
truly.
share it with.
But they don't think like that. Not even the kids they pass on because they come hypocrite. Oh, we're doing it for our kids. And by the time, I mean, we normal people, they train us. But going back to your question about how I think about, yeah. So, like I said, they're just trying to win the time now where they think we are dumb enough and they are fighting who is going to take control. So because everything we do in our social media life is a voting, it's a contest. We're not aware of that, but every time you see a celebrity comes in, this is a competition within themselves of who has the most people to control. Now we see it lightly and we see, oh, we like this guy and everything. You know how many times lately I have because I have witnessed lately, and even I fell for the trap just 2 weeks ago. Lately, I see there is a lot of let's talk about not the normal people. Let's put we normal people out, but of the celebrity class, and they come on YouTube and they sweet words, right? They really know how to grab a certain group of people, but it takes like 15 minutes to just research about them, and you're just thinking, and then when you listen to what they say properly, then you're realizing, damn, why you do that to me? You know what I'm saying?
And but
I
then
fell
really it's
for it.
our own fault because we put these people at such a pedestal and we hold them so high, like, oh my God, this person is my idol, or they have 3 million followers, I'm gonna be another follower. And I respect them so much. They do this, they do that, whether it's for publicity, at least they're helping a child, blah blah blah. But really we don't know truly who someone is on social media. You don't get a true glance of the reality.
Now,
So
before
right now, there's so
I,
many influencers that are not equipped in a position to influence, but they have such a huge influence over the world.
yes, yes. And most of the people who have influence of the world, let's face it, like really and truly, okay, let's say you're a good artist. Let's go to Madonna. right? Let's say she's a good artist, and when I was growing up, I heard her, and that was like one of the first female artists for me as a musician. And I really like her creativity and everything, you know. And when I grew up, with me, when I like something, I need to research the bloody shit. Why I like that shit, right? What is the recipe for this shit, right? And then I am researching, and I realizing something collectively now. I'm not only talking about it. I realize most of the things that are designed to put, we have to understand that the negative source, which they call the devil, the God, the whatever, because it comes in, it's a spirit that's in different people, you know, that inhabit it. That negative source, you know, doesn't come, you know, if you're ugly, if you're, I want to put it in a way people can understand. If you're an ugly guy, right? Because I see a lot of ugly guys with like, woo, good looking chicks. And I'm like, how the hell, nigga? Right? Because you have to come with something else that is very, you know, enticing for some
Money,
other. Right.
money,
Exactly.
power,
Exactly.
status.
Exactly. So now we are caught up um, behind a curtain of nice things, but the drive behind it is completely a different motive. You see? And we get caught up in the creativity because we love the creativity of whatever source it comes from. And we love human beings. But we need, I'm going to say this one thing. We need to understand the people that are controlling this earth are not human beings, right? So until we bypass that and we get that in our head, watch me, even today, I was listening every time I listen to like the Hitler times and you know around that era. When you listen to how they speak and the humans and this and that and the way they talk and they mention humans is is like a group of people that kind of distant from you. You need to
Mm.
understand context and how, especially in those days when they speak, it was very raw. But
Yeah,
we thinking it's
I was reading about the Nazis as well today.
right, right, right. You see, I'm telling you, it's a connection. You know, so you know every time when they speak, when I hear the presidents and like they make some quotes which people don't catch, but it sounds so distant from us, even if they're trying to tell us, oh yeah, 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 we're doing this for you or whatever, right? But another thing, sorry, I'm gonna be talking a lot, but another thing, when somebody come and say, oh yes, I'm doing this for you, you know, let's not fool ourselves, man, you know, because really and truly, all right, we're doing things for ourselves so that we can help others. But when somebody comes and say, like plainly, especially somebody in the higher ups who doesn't know you, really and truly, they don't give a fuck about you, and then they come and tell you they're giving you. So the hypocrite, we have to just really stop relying because we need to see things without the glare around it. This world we live in the buildings, the houses, and everything. You know, we did it ourselves, and those people taking credit for it. We
Yes,
built the world with our unity ourselves. Without us, nothing happens. But we feel we have that thing in our brains where we feel, oh, it's the government that is helping us do this. No, no, no. We are the government. Now, when I remember my grandfather used to always be pissed off, and when he was to hear, people used to refer the higher ups as the government. He's like, since how the word just changed upside down, up. We were the government. We had people who represent the government. But now they teach us, and we think we're so intelligent, but we are idiots. Really and truly, you see, intelligence. I'm gonna tell people that intelligence is an idiot thing, right? You know, this ain't helping you when you reach in the crossroads and God asks you, what the hell did you do? And you come with all your fucking mathematical equation and that bloody bullshit. I'm not saying put this on the side, but this is not the main essence of where we're driving at this time in life. Where we're driving at is at a spiritual level. We know we can conquer every physical thing. Now we're living in a system that don't accommodate for our spiritual growth, right?
100%.
So if the laws stay the same, I mean, let's check it. Let's check it. We have grown as a human being. We know what is right and what is wrong. We don't want no fucking kids or cops come and tell us what is wrong. That's why we don't like cops. Not because of them in person as a person, but hey, man, I'm a fucking adult who works and fucking have my own shit. And you telling me what to do without even good reasoning. You know, you just come in and with an assumption. You see? So again, we're not blaming individuals, but the society of the way things going, because society and community is completely two different things.
It's
In a
like we
community,
are programmed like robots from a young age. The curriculum, everything we talk about the slave trade that was taken to America and the UK and all over the world from Africa. We talk about World War I, World War II. We don't talk about current affairs. That's too
mhm,
sensitive. We're not allowed to tell children about what's going on in the world right now. They're not allowed to hold
right?
an opinion on that
You're right. You're right. You know?
because it's too current. If children have an opinion, children are very innocent. They'll say it how it is. Children will say, "Wait, hold on. So Nazism came to an end because of what they inflicted upon the Jews. Now Zionism is inflicting the same thing on Palestine or Palestinian people, Muslims, Christians, even Jews. So it's like it's done a 360. Somebody said in the comments, history is repeating itself and nobody is doing anything about it. Yes, we're not in
Exactly.
places of power to do anything. We're looking up at the elders saying, somebody do something, somebody speak up. Uh, Iran, Pakistan,
You know,
Turkey, somebody speak up.
another, yes,
We have the power to speak.
exactly. Another thing in line of what you're saying there that I am very observant about, and I just, like, when we're starting with the kids, because on that topic, that is my main thing, but I'm just saving it for a bit before we get onto that. But since you mentioned about the kids, and I was looking on Shirley Temple, her history, and as a kid. Now, the things we are facing now is things that have been happening for centuries, really. Now, when we're talking about the kids and the abuse of our mentality and our well-being, most of all, right? And when I heard a story about Shirley Temple, it was a bit disturbing because she was in the limelight from since when she was 5 years old. Now, she was in the limelight, and grown-ass men, politicians and that kind of a thing, sending messages saying how she physically looked good. And anybody can look on the research, right? How describing the kid like she's a grown-ass woman, like as if they desire her,
Mm,
So
mm,
anyway, she got the roles, and in that, and like she go through, they had her as a machine. She couldn't, the one hairstyle which everybody loved, which was the curls, she had to stick to those curls. In fact, she couldn't go to a meeting to another celebrity just because she got rebellious and she didn't want to wear and she couldn't meet that person. A lot of little things, but her mom was getting paid in the background all the time, right? So I just saying the abuse of our kids, and from that, I'm going to jump into another thing, which is talking about the kids. I trying to figure out why that so many kids missing every day. And when I tell normal people that I have spoken to that about that with normal people, and they tell me, oh, but it's not a lot of kids. And I show them on the net, there's like millions a year missing. So where they going? How they missing? This is one of my big questions of the century. So if anybody in the comments can give me an idea, although I know what's going on already, but if anybody can give me some comments under there, so there at least you can spark the conversation, I can get into it deeper. But this is the most important thing. If we're thinking about the future and the growth of human beings, that's our direction. But now they created the TikTok, and I'm not saying things are not good, but I know how these people are watching it. This is a business for them because they love to see the kids naked. You see? Like we normal people, we see it and if you like somebody, but they cut us short. They make us feel now, we normal people, if we like somebody, that we cannot come. Because in Hollywood, you know why they get married, and this is fact, I'm telling you. The reason why those people get married in Hollywood, because it gets so fucked up That means if you like you just meet somebody, they can sue you for touching them if they piss you. So they get married just to date. You see? So that's how their world is. And they enforce their world onto our world like that's what it is. You
And
know?
that's aspirational. We look up to that thinking we want a life like that. We want to be like that. Like normal people, us normal people, we are not normal, but we are kind of normal in a way.
Well, compared to human beings and
Yeah.
their act, and I mean, if you look and and I don't forgive every celebrity. Trust me, I like I said, I listen to the music and it's good and this and that, and I know my limits. It's just like when you go out and you drink, you know how much you have to drink so that you cannot be vulnerable, right? Now, each and every one of them know the secret. Not the secret, it's not a secret anyway, because the only reason why it's a secret because a lot of people don't want to believe reality. They want to stay into a bubble because but as a kid, when we grow up, any normal person when we grow up, if your parents ask you, oh, you know, Jack, what would you do if you had £1,000,000? You say, oh, mommy, I'll buy a house for you and I'll help you. This is our dream. We go, it's a together. We as humans, we brought up with a natural togetherness mentality, right? But now I given you the process. Then we get straight into schools. Now, when you go into schools, they start pointing out all different things. I mean, they start pointing out bully, and they start pointing out this, and they start pointing out all different things to keep your mind and put you in a bracket. Now, when it comes to the studies and understanding of things, they're not teaching you about life now. They're teaching you segregation psychologically, meaning we all know if you're a lawyer, a doctor, or whatever thing you need a group. You cannot do it on your own. Because watch them. If they come out, when they come out, they have the bodyguards down to the accountants around them. Because they know that's how you move. You move with wings. But they teach us individuality. Now, if you have a classroom of 20 kids, right? The brain, they're already taught to compete against each other and not help each other because they say, oh, you're copying on him. Because a wise teacher would know, oh, Jack is strong at this. Okay, Jack, you're going to be the accountant, you're going to be the spokesman, and we're going to build this. Even when Jack leaves school, you can call, you can say, oh, you know, I used to work with it. So we have a connection when we leave. But they block all that. They make us have a mental capacity like dog eat dog. So everybody come out, they want a house on the hill, and they come out when that group of generation come out, they all fighting against each other because each of them want to have a house and they're jealous of each other. Naturally, not their fault, not our fault, but it's the deep psychological thing behind it of how they're working with the mind. You know, so we come in and we think in the education, like really and truly, I'm telling you something. You know, it's not schooling that's the problem, but you see the schools we're sending our kids right now is bullshit. Right? You can do everything from YouTube at your home and teach your kids your kind of a thing. And it's time that mothers start thinking about, you know, oh, career. You can do your career right from your front door. But you have to preserve the fruits of your the thing you bet. This is the most important, not your career that's the most important thing. The fruit you bring, you know, not only mothers I'm talking about, but then again, we go into the other stage where it's divided again to the other stage where the mother either wants to be someone or the mother have to go out and do something because the dad is not there. Now that's the other separation we need to talk about. So the mom and dad, so they give the mom, here another thing when I came to the UK, right? How can you giving housing only to mom and kid? What do you expect? A wave of separation. Because obviously the moms want to have a house and they would purposely like, it's a setup. If the guy tells her anything manly, she's like, oh, and she moves on. But then again, I'm not blaming Wida in the situation. I'm blaming the system behind
Mm,
it, the
mm.
logic behind it, which the unseen enemy, which we're not seeing. Right? That's why they highlight every time a celebrity breakup. That's the thing they highlight the fucking most, right? Nigga, when shit was nice, tell us the story of how they say, oh, it was okay. We went to the club and this and that, and we kissed, and that's it. I mean, even now, I I just cannot watch a love movie because it have, for instance, had a mentality of a love, any love movie you watch, right? You sit down there with your partner and you're watching, but that person, they purposely show you that either the boy or the girl strays off with somebody else during the movie and come back again and this and that. Like, they cannot show you that a love just can laugh and there is no infidelity and that kind of a thing without it, and show it can be done.
That doesn't sell.
You
Truth
see?
doesn't sell.
Yeah, but
I've got a
yeah,
journalism degree, so the first lesson that I learned in journalism was don't believe everything you see in the news, because why? Everything has to have news value. I've seen it firsthand when we were doing the protests. I saw the police aggregating and provoking the crowd and hitting boys with their shields and bruises and cuts and why?
big
Because
up
that
Kifa.
hits news. 5 people got arrested. Missiles were thrown at police. It wasn't missiles, but I'm not justifying it's okay. I'm just saying exaggerated stories in movies,
Yes.
in narratives, in books, in TV, and even the news. Stories sell.
It's unbelievable when and we're living in a world, and I want our viewers to know that, because we're having this conversation there, but it's very, now is the time, because all the information is at your fingertips. You don't have to look long, right? The information, make up your own kind of a mind, because according to your way of life, da 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 da. But morals, common sense, manlyhood, womanhood, human being, there is no when you write, there is no around it going, right? It's all up to you now, but there is no around a truth. Truth is just truth. Like I said, when you have the truth, you are confident. To other people, the weak ones, you look cocky, but whatever, because he's like a singer. He knows all the lyrics to his song. So when he goes on the stage, he's crushing it. He knows he ain't gonna forget his lyrics, right? So, and that's not because he's cocky, It's because the dude knows his shit and he's confident, right? So anyway, I'll let you spark up. I'll say big up to my friend Kifa. I see my friend Kifa is in there. Respect all the time. And
We
there is
have
a name
so
that
many
is
accents. Some
Haraju Rakrat.
the world's built on corruption. If the government, the media, and the politicians and police and Rothschild own the banks, weapons, 33-degree mansions, got shit on lock, and got us trapped. Um, is it Kefalion?
Kifa Lion.
Kefalion. It's freaking Hunger Games. People just don't see it. It's true. They kidnap kids for blood sacrifice and drink young kids' blood, not to age the cult for you.
Mm, yeah. So now talking about this, so when we're talking about your theme, your theme was no peace,
No justice, no peace.
no justice, no peace. Now, how do we find? Because again, highlighting, it's good to highlight what we think that is immoral. I will not say wrong or right, because that's not my, you know, we'll not get into that part yet. But what is immoral to a certain our self-esteem, really, as a human being, just the bottom line, you know, of the thing. The rest of it is all decorations. You know, when you have a cake, you build a cake, it's plain, right? Now, some people want icing, some people want whatever over it, but with, but the plain cake now, right? Where we need to think of a gradual solution, because none of us can say like, hey, oh, that's the solution, right? But we need to have a gradual solution of those things that bothers us, that, not just us personally, but for the future, and just demoralize human beings. Because when I watch human beings and I see us now, we are very disjointed, really. We like, all of us, we like, some of us know the truth, and the next person, and everybody think they have the full truth, but yet we fail to realize it's just the chain in the link. All we have to do is accept what each other are about, and accept that, to get the good thing, keep the good things. They have a saying, you chew the meat and you spit out the bone, right? You know, when you're digesting things, it's not everything you ingest mentally, physically, spiritually, that you have to eat everything in. And because some people is like, if you go in a restaurant and when they eat and they find a bone in a meat that's supposed to have bone, they're complaining. And I'm thinking, nigga, what are you complaining about? It's supposed to have a fucking bone. You just spit out the bone, right? Because that's part of the process, right? So we have to understand that sometimes there are bones in people's closets. So when they open their mouth, it's just skeletons scatter every bloody way, right? That's just how it is, right? So we accept that sometimes we have to bypass that and collect all the good things from it, right? You know, and try and let all the good things overshadow gradually. Why I'm saying that, because that's why I had to help myself in life, or else I would not be alive today, right? You know, maybe I would be alive physically, but maybe my soul would be disjointed.
Dead.
You know,
Yeah.
like you feel haunted. And I know a lot of people like that. You know, they call themselves well off too.
Is
They're
that a way to live?
disjointed.
Like, why? That's not called living. That's just called like a corpse, like a corpse that's walking around, you know? Like being free-minded, being free thinking, not being on edge. Oh my God, I can't say this, I can't speak this truth because what's that person going to think? Or what are my family going to think? Or what's everyone on social media going to think? Like, I believe in a free thinking world. I believe in speaking my mind because why? Then it's not locked up in here. If it's
Exactly.
locked up in here, I'm going to go crazy.
Exactly. And that's why because you know what? My wisdom, understanding, and knowledge mostly came from people they class as crazy, because I used to be running away from home from young, I a free thinker, You see, because my mother was very strict and all that, in them
Sounds
days.
like me. We have something in common.
Man, I'm telling you, my mother was like Fort Knox with me. Serious. My brothers and sisters after that, I think she learned and they had it easier, but me, I had it like Fort Knox. Like I was like Jesus Christ. Any shit you say or do the wrong shit, nigga. Nigga. Huh.
You're like, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here.
Yeah. So there, I used to always run away from home. Not that I'm saying my mother is a bad person. That's I have a lot of her in me. But I used to run away from home just because I'm rebellious and I see things very early in life. Because I'm just wondering, okay, yes, we're building. I always say that from young. Like we're building all those buildings and everything. And when I read history and I'm seeing what we do now. We actually, a clever person can really catch that. Hey, you know what? We used to whoop them for them to build their own prison. How about we just pay them to just build their own prison? Just enough, not too much. And if they make too much, we have the scope on them. Which is what happening. So all those that want to be a celebrity and I want to have millions, let me tell you the role, how it goes, right? As soon as you hit this million in your account, ding, ding, ding. Oh, everybody wants you to join a fucking clan, right?
Yeah.
Nobody leaves you alone. You have from fake charity down to fucking, everybody wants to be your friend. But what you need to realize, as soon as you tag with those people, you're stuck. The freedom is gone. Now you're going to be jealous because you're coming in the Caribbean and you're seeing black people barefooted. They have no food in their mouth and they're chilling nice on the beach, and you have to pay and have a bodyguard to come on the beach. So you, as a celebrity, you're jealous psychologically, and you come with your laws that enforced by your God, your daddies, right? You come with all your laws and everything and try and influence us into stay away from the beach just so that you can come on the beach freely. But hey, you cannot have the best of both worlds. You see? So that is the attack on us in many ways, because of the jealousy. Now we need to understand that all of us got trapped into praising a God that is not our God.
Mm.
You see? So we end up praising a jealous God, Lord Lucy, right? We end up praising a jealous God. Now, they teach us everything is on the outside. Oh, look for God, He's in the sky. Look for Jah, He's over there. Look for love, it's all over. But they never teach us inside at all. Now, when they realize you're getting on the inside now, you know, I remember when I came to England the first time, and with me, I have my photo in my house, and I bring a chick, and she's like, why you have a photo of you in your house? You're Van. I'm like, what the fuck? Whose photo you want me to have in the house? Like, you want me to have Beyonce's fucking photo? What the fuck? Like, you know, like, hello, does Beyonce pay my rent? In fact, I pay Beyonce's rent if I buy her music. We need to, we're thinking in a reverse way, you know? It's the Lord of the Manors picture that goes in my fucking house. I don't want no fucking anybody that don't work for my
Hey, if
shit.
you don't love yourself, who else are you gonna love?
Exactly. So you just, you see, you hit the point exactly what I'm trying to say, you know? Yeah. So what really bothers you in life?
What bothers me in
What
life?
you cannot go to bed knowing that's
Well,
fucked
I'm
up.
not gonna lie, the last 14, 15 days, I have been totally consumed by this Israel-Palestine, Israel-Palestine, Israel-Palestine conflict.
So
Not conflict.
educate me a bit more about your
Okay.
view. Yeah.
I know I've spoken to you briefly about it over
Yeah.
pizza, but let me tell you and some of the people that are watching, there's actually somebody who's currently in Gaza right now. He's watching this right now, which is
Right.
nice. Hey, assalamu alaikum. He's sending peace and love
Hello,
to you.
Bustin Chase and Bustin Case, Bustin Chase and Bustin Case 5. Bustin Chase and Bustin Case 5. Bustin Case, I know you'll stay
You're
alive.
funny. You are
Shout out.
hilarious. You are actually
Okay.
hilarious. So, for those who are watching and they've been following my social media, thank you for joining. I think a lot of people have been enjoying the updates I've been giving because we have a factory in Leicester that builds weapons and components and sends them out to Israel, ready to arm Israel against a defenseless people who have no police, no
Okay, wait.
army.
Hold on. Ready to arm Israel against Palestine.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Now,
So,
so I will just ask you questions
yeah,
along
go.
the way just so that because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
more
go,
want
go,
to
go,
educate
go.
myself seriously because I didn't follow it because I know in my mind I said it's the same branch, but so I didn't go in detail. So what is the real root they're telling us is the problem between those two?
So the problem is that in 1945, um, all the Jews left Germany after the World War, right? We all know
Right.
this. We all know this. We all know this.
Yep. Yep.
Everything that happened with Hitler, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's not right what happened. They were inflicted a lot of pain, suffering as a people. They were very, very hurt. They were homeless. They had nowhere to go. The
Right.
British then came and took Palestine, sold all of the Arab countries the dream, Saudi, Kuwait, Qatar, you know, give us Palestine and we will give you riches. Give us Palestine and we will give you status, money, and power. Give us Palestine. Give us Palestine. Okay, these stupid Arab countries were like, yeah, okay, here you go. I will give you what you want. We'll give you what you need. Take
Okay.
it, take anything.
And I'm just gonna ask, it's still in
Yeah,
continuation. So what's the cause? If they have Palestine,
yeah.
what are the plans?
They want to eradicate Palestine off the map of the face of the earth.
Of the
They want no
on what
Palestine, only
account?
Israel. No Palestine, only Israel.
Okay. So they
And
want
these
okay.
Palestinians open their arms, welcome, welcome our Jewish brothers, you know, Christians, Muslims, Jews. They lived in peace and harmony for years and years and years. You know,
I
that
still have a why in my head. But why Palestine?
because it's special to everyone. I went in 2018, so I went to a church, Bethlehem, where Jesus was born. That's in Palestine.
Right.
There is a mosque there, the Golden Mosque, the special mosque where the 124,000 prophets prayed for the Muslims. That's special. Then there is for Jewish people, there is the Wailing Wall. They have their temple there as well. So for all three religions, Jerusalem,
Again,
Palestine is special.
it's a pattern. It's a pattern. I want you to continue talking, but I'm just gonna put a line in. Now, in coordinates with what you're saying there, it's a pattern they do. You know, every big or major business place like supermarkets, like Tesco's and everything, they are built on a landmark. Did you know that? I just letting you know. So, I'll not get into it. So you
They
can
are built
continue.
on the blood of an innocent people somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what you're trying to say, right?
On a landmark, it could be blood of other people. It could be something that's of, because that's how they preserve. Watch me, I've been tracking them. I know how they think. Seriously, I know how they think. That's how they preserve shit. Because this is a certain tribe. They adopt. I'm telling you and viewers that so that you can. They don't develop when they have a blueprint, they stick to that fucking blueprint. That's why a lot of celebrities fall along the way. I mean, there is not one that make it out of the tunnel. You know, when you go and you get a job and you do the job and you did the service and then you're back with the people, you can go back and chill out and say, hey, sit down on TV yourself and watch yourself and say, hey, none of them had this glory. In fact, 99.9% of them end up broke. They couldn't even pay for the funeral. Trust
They
me.
make them look like crazy people.
Yes, they demolish you, and the same pattern they do with those people too, because they use you, they use you, and then when they see, hey, he accumulates so much along the way, you know what? We know he's going to die soon, or we're going to fuck him up. So you know what? We're going to have to say somebody's going to come out. Oh, we found him with coke, and 2 years, 3 years. Oh, coke. So everybody just going to hear you next week die on coke, and they think, yes, he was taking coke, and your whole shit is gone. The same thing they did with Iran and Iraq, right?
Yeah.
From the time I born and you raised your head, Iran and Iraq, and you're thinking like, okay, Iran and Iraq, it's not your fucking business to start with.
Why are you
How
in someone
about,
else's country?
yeah, how about you watch your fucking country? Because shit is happening in your country too. And this
Yes,
country,
thank
and let
you.
those two guys box it out. Just don't give them any weapons from your side, right? And let them box it out as men, and who stands survive, and you're gonna, no. They're involving and putting more fucking fire in the works because they are the instigators of the whole bloody shit anyway.
100%.
Now, so back to the Palestine situation.
So the British came in 1917. They bought the Balfour Declaration. That stated to allowed Israel to have a state. So from Palestine being this big, Israel being this small, Israel grew. In 73 years, there is this much left of Palestine and this much of Israel now. So for the AJ that's asking, why doesn't Arabs, UAE, Saudi, why don't they take in the Palestinians? How about I come in your house, I occupy your house, I say, this is my house now, AJ. You go find your own house now. You go to India, you go to somewhere else in your relative's house. This is my house. Everything in this house belongs to me. You have no right over it now. How would that make you feel?
No, and that makes a lot of sense, this what you're saying there. But you see the same way you put it there. Now that's what I'm saying. Those people, right, that doing those mischievous things, right? We coming up now, we are like 10 times wiser and have more morals. You see, because and it's plain to see. It's not. You don't have to have a psychology degree or anything like that for you to realize. Hey, after many years, it's like you in a relationship, and after many years, your partner is telling you, "Oh, I'm working overtime." One day, you will think like, "Fuck, man, is it overtime? Really?"
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? One day you're going to check. So now, even Bob Marley say you can fool the people sometime, but you cannot fool them all the time.
yeah, yeah.
You see? There is a time when we're going to identify what your motives are and think. But the thing again, going back to the solution, that's the thing we need. And everybody's saying, come as one, come as one. Now I want to demolish that bullshit, right? Because I think people getting come as one in the wrong term.
Mm.
You see, we can come as one, as we all know that we have individual personalities, we have
Yeah.
cultural personalities, we have spiritual personalities, we have so many. It's like a flower. I mean, a garden. The garden have roses, it
Yeah.
have lilies, it have tulips, it have everything. But when it's in the garden, everything look beautiful. But if I want to go and propose to a chick, I would most likely to take a rose. If I want to go to a funeral, I'm most likely to take a carnation. So each of them have the thing, but together is the beauty. So why try demolish and say, oh, we come as one? Why try demolish it? We all cannot stand on that same character. We have to flourish in our own, and then when we get together, it's even much more powerful. So then that's what I'm saying. Whites have to, yes, white and black, and people saying, yes, we get as one on a certain standard, but hey, my morals, okay, I know you don't like it, and I don't like yours, but you just let us build our own shit so
Yeah.
that when you come, if you in shit, you can come, and we black people strong on our own, and we can come and say, you need some help, white boy? Yeah.
Yeah. Why not work
What is in there
together?
for us?
Yeah.
Will
Yeah.
our community help benefit with me helping you? And they say, yeah, yeah, yeah. I help you. The Palestine or anything. But if we all just get as fake one, we stifle, because this person have a belief, and then in the church, the same church that was the church on Sunday, and Sunday morning it's a nightclub, so everybody, it's going to be chaos. People heart gonna be broken, people minds gonna, there's a lot of chaos, which is what they're trying to create, and they're fooling us into being as one. Hey man, if somebody is an Indian, dude, I have nothing. I don't need you to be black, I don't need you to be white, just be Indian, I am happy. Why, if I go in a zoo and I see a tiger, that I want the tiger to be a lion? What the fuck? Or the tiger have a lion mannerism, or some fucking pussy. It just doesn't make sense. A tiger have to be a tiger, a lion has to be a lion, and we respect it. We know if we put our hands too close, right? Again, but they use the celebrities. Oh, I'm scared, and make everybody turn a pussy. Now I'm speaking with a lot of conviction, because there is a lot of things they have implanted throughout the decades.
Yeah.
You see, and they use the celebrities. So and this make. But for me, this is not a negative thing to highlight it. People have to know, because some of us busy working and we're not checking what's going on. And by the time we wake up when we're 90, when we need to get fighting for our own thing we work for, which is the pension, we realize, oh fuck, this system is fucked up. Wait, let me watch my bill in
But that's what it
1996.
is. You're stuck in a system. You're so busy working your 9 to 5 because you're so consumed by the here, the now, the short term. I need to pay my bills. I need to pay my rent. I need to pay my mortgage. I need to put food on the table. I need to pay for my children. I need to do this. I need to do that. You're so consumed in this
Yeah,
little bubble of yours that you're so narrow-minded and tunnel visioned. You
true.
can't see outside elsewhere. You can't see anything that's happening, and you
And
turn a
that,
blind
yeah.
eye. Why? Because in ignorance there is bliss. You can focus on your own shit by pretending the other shit is not happening.
And alongside that, before I forget, I want to add something. And that's where this, what I'm going to highlight comes in. The trust between us human beings. Now, we don't trust one another so much unless we hate on the news. Now, your friend, you're busy working all the time. Your friend is always on YouTube or have more time to spend, just check on things, and comes and tell you, hey, guess what? That's and this and that and that. And you're saying, oh, I didn't hate, or da da da, and you disregard your friend. Remember, we have to protect ourselves. Some of us have different roles. Like I remember, I like to research things, and there is a friend of mine, which is a very good friend, she stands for a lot of things, but she made a remark, and she says, and because I was giving her information, right? And she's like, oh, you have a lot of time on your hands, like in a kind of sarcastic way, as if like, hey. And I'm
Like
thinking, for
patronizing.
me, this is useful.
Yeah.
All the money in the world, when you have a direction or a knowledge or wisdom and understanding of things, you know how you feel much more better than the rest of the. I'm not saying I disregard the rest of the thing, but this is the foundation. You cannot build a house on quicksand. You know, because you know what's going to come next. By next week there is no house, right? Everywhere you're gonna be coming as a journalist, and you're like, "Oh, ladies and gentlemen, last week there was the big castle on here, and everybody was taking photos, but it miraculously disappeared, and we just don't know what's going on." And a wise man gonna say, "Hey, he built it on quicksand," right?
Well, I'm
So
telling you, this factory that I'm telling you about, Bruno, that's in
yeah,
Leicester, this is on quicksand. And hopefully in a week, a month, a year's time, however long it takes, I know everyone watching that's from Leicester is hoping that this factory gets shut down. Why? Because we don't believe that arms going from our city, our hometown, are going to kill innocent people, no matter what their background is, whether they're Muslim,
now,
Jewish,
yes,
anyone.
and you're right about that. But what we have to realize is, and that I this is something for me again from young I've been saying, because I'm very rebellious about being a fucking slave. Right now, this is something all of us know. It's not something new. I'm gonna say that our tax money, 90% of our tax money, where does it go? We all know it goes into war and defense and all that. But what I always asking myself, who the fuck am I defending myself against?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like, who the fuck are we defending ourselves? Because we all are human. So what? Why
There's
are
no
we
threat
saying?
to me in my house right now. There's nothing falling from the sky. There's nothing, no threat in the UK. They've got the best defense systems in the world. They are, how is it justified if you're defending yourselves in someone else's country? Just like think about that for a second, because you're going to somebody else's country and you're saying it's self-defense when in reality it's you that's gone there.
Now, it's good you're saying that, because I need to highlight again to viewers and everybody that one of the biggest trick is they make things upside down. So everything is upside down. You see, when they tell you one thing, when they tell you walk, run, seriously, and literally, everything, even the words, even what the messages they put on the TV, everything, if you read it backwards, everything is upside down. We need to start educating ourselves and stop thinking, oh, it's bullshit. Let me tell you something. Witchcraft is real, right? And all that kind of a thing. They call it science, but let me tell you, it's fucking witchcraft, right? You see the music, I need to just point this out. I know I skip it, but I just dropping things in there, right? You see the music you buy, right? They invoke that with a lot of spirits that comes into your fucking home, right? The books you buy, right? It comes with spirits. People need to know and understand that, right? So that's why with me, I keep from young, I keep my temple very, everybody saying, another thing, like the literal, how we normal human beings need to know how to separate words. When they say, oh, I am very open. You cannot, yes, you are open, but remember, if you have a door that's open, anybody can fucking walk in.
Yeah, yeah,
You'll be there with your girlfriend in middle action and somebody just walk out, oh, oops, oh, the door was open, right? That kind of a thing. You have to understand what they mean by, I'm open. I'm open to certain shit
yeah,
I'm expecting,
yeah,
right? You knock on my door and I don't not expecting anybody unless you say police, and I still need to check again underneath the door and that kind of a thing, and put my shotgun close by just in case, right? If I don't invite you, you're not coming in. Simple as that, right? But you know, open mind. When people come with that, again, it's all the media that put that in our head, and we take it so literal, and then we're destroying our
it's
own
like we're
self.
psychologically so invested in every word, every letter.
I know.
They consume our brains. This space, you need to take it back and make it your own. You need
And
to
yeah,
100%,
yeah.
because otherwise, then you belong to them.
And we develop a very, very bad habit as human beings, because even as a YouTuber, right, when I go on YouTube, I just be so pissed off. I am a dude, I get pissed off anyway, because I just want to see things at least a little right. It doesn't have to be all right, because I'm not trying to be all right, and I don't want everybody to be, because when the shit hits you, You know, when the rhythm hits you, you feel no pain. You just keep on moving. But on YouTube, I seen people, everything nowadays is so misguided. They put a title and it what the content, the title is like grabbing, but the content is completely misleading. You know, it's like again, we nowadays we cannot trust anything. We cannot trust anybody. And then yes, it's good we on that front, it's good we can say, oh, we blame the system, but now we have to help ourselves,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
We have the platforms, we have everything. Nowadays, anybody can go and make their own news and all that kind of a thing. And just try, let's just try and do it respectfully, morally, and that kind of a thing, you know? And I'm not saying, you know, because I mean, we're on Instagram now, right? Now, when I flick on Instagram, I mean, I just saying it for real how it is. I get tired of seeing naked chicks now, especially if I cannot get all and I don't desire to get. It just is. I just don't know. Like everybody, grannies now up to in leg. I mean, it's cool. I'm not saying it's not, but really, like as if the whole generation. I mean, before I know they had a certain group of people that would do this, and a certain. I know if I'm walking down the road, you'll see a whorehouse, and I can choose. I say, hey man, I don't go to whorehouses. But now I just don't know. Everybody can be anything at any time.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? You know, so and it's according to how they dress on the day too. The attitude is so nobody sticks to a moral or concept or that kind of a thing. Now that's why my hair is long as hell
Oh
because
wow,
I
no,
don't
long.
intend to
Wow.
change me for any gains, right? If you think I'm stubborn. If you think I have to change myself for me to be, no matter what, who you are or what you offer in me, that part you're going to lose already. You see what I'm saying? And I see a lot of people because that's why some people have certain things on them that signify certain things that signify strength. You know, hey man, no matter what I go through, right? I'm sticking to that shit. At least you stick to one thing in life. Now, if that thing is part of you, hey, you know what I'm saying? But I know I will go to a job and I'll say I'll try and stick to it. And sometimes the same funds that bring me up, the same funds that bring me down. So the exterior things are never guaranteed. As you can see nowadays, with the people that eating from the devil's pot. Everything they say have a consequence. And then they try to put us in the box too. Hey dude, that's your fault. I'm not eating off the devil's pot. I say what the fuck I like, right? You ain't paying me. So they try to impose their restrictiveness onto us because now they're jealous that, dude, there is a price for everything. If somebody paying you £1,000,000 to shut the fuck up and follow his thing, then you take it, right? You take it and shut the fuck up, right? But don't come there and pretend that you then, oh, now I realize, and and you're giving me half truth. You see, that's why I don't forgive none of them because they all come and give you half truth. Only when shit not running, right? Only when they outcast them for a bit. And when they look around, and the fans give them a bit of hard time, they run back to their slave daddy and come back and slave us even harder this time because this time they come with a hatred. They expect we the fans to just come and say in open arms, but we're thinking, hey man, you cannot just come. You have deceived us for so many fucking years,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
only in the things you do to make us like you, but you take out of our pockets our time for so many years, right? And when we find out, nigga, he wasn't delivering, really. It was all a front. Now you want to, because we will accept you, but there is a price to pay as much as the price to pay on the other side. The price to pay, you have to show us you can turn away, like they said in the Bible when they was turning away from Sodom and Gomorrah. If you turn back, you turn to a pale of salt. How many celebrities or people in power you see when they turn their backs on them that really to walk barefooted with the people and say, you know what, and come and tell us the truth. You know what, those people, this is reality. This and that and that and that happening, and fuck it and leave all the big house and everything. None of them. You see? I know I can do it. None of them can do it. So when they come with the sweet tongue, again, I eat the meat and I chew out the fucking bone.
yeah,
I spit out the bone, right? But the person itself, we have to never invest in the physicality of the person itself, you know. The message is cool, you know. Yeah, we take the message, but then again, we get attached. We human beings, that's what they know, you know, we get attached. very quickly, because when we
100%.
do something more than once or twice, it's like an addictive
Becomes a
personality
habit,
we
doesn't it?
have. You know, it's like a relationship. You meet a chick, okay, you have a one night stand, you was having a party, but you knew it's not something long term. But then you do it and do it, and then you'll end up waking up. Okay, oh, we're 6 weeks hanging around together. Hey, oh, we are boyfriend and girlfriend. And then your initial thought, because remember, a decision when a human being makes a decision, he always makes it in the instant, the first time. You forget it along the way because that's how the devil works. He can entice you to change your mind and this and that and that and that. But if, for instance, I come and you introduce me to a friend, it's your friend, right? You come there with a friend, and first I see that friend, I think, I don't want to meet that person. But then you come, hey, oh, brother, this is Jack, and I introduce, but I am forcefully now putting myself in a world which my initial feeling tell me, stay away. But in my mind, I'm gonna say, you know what? I will not be hanging around that person that much anyway. So I'll just to make you feel good. So now I am out of my principle partially because of you, to make you feel good, and and pass a good energy.
And that's emotional intelligence. You don't want to hurt my feelings.
Yes, yes. No, and it's more important. That's why I'm getting out of my, because it's more important to show the love. That's what we
Yeah.
human beings about.
Yeah.
That's when we get out of our comfort zone. If it's to show love, a good or positive thing, we get out, you know? Now, another thing, whilst I was saying that today, right? So I am looking on Instagram. That was the first thing. I hardly scroll on Instagram. I'm scrolling and I'm watching this post, right? Now, this police in London, right? This police horse, two of them, and the police on the horse and the galloping on the road. And then when they reached the traffic light crossing, it was painted in that LGBT, whatever, colors. And the horses don't want to cross it. Seriously. They literally make the run and ready to throw down the guy. Like, really, they didn't cross over it. Now, that alone tells me another clue, which, you see, animals, they always respect nature and God, the Almighty. The principles never change because of the instincts. And remember, horses has a fucking well good instinct, right? And the things they're imposing onto us. Like I tell you, there is so many things, it will sound like I'm complaining, but they are well infested. It's like when you have a house infested with cockroach and you reach to the point you just want to burn the fucking house. Because there is like, oh, you just have to rebuild the whole shit. There is so many cockroach infested. And that is how our society and our well-being is infested at the moment, right? And through a certain group of people, and I don't want to call them people because I don't want to train the bad habit because I know the truth. It's a different entity, you see? We need to accept it's a different entity that hates human beings. Trust me, they hate us. They will come in all different colors, right? And we have to bypass the colors too. You see? We have to just know one another through values now. Whether you're Chinese, this or that, we have the same values. Hey, man, we can roll, right? We don't have the same values. I don't hate you, but hey, dude, maybe if I see you, I can party around you, but it's edgy for me because I have to keep my fucking eye all the time. So I cannot even party around you because I don't know what's next with those type of people because they praise the jealous God.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm talking a lot,
No,
maybe
it's
too
amazing,
much.
Bruno. I think everybody's enjoying it. Someone asked a
Oh,
question earlier. So, in case you don't know, Bruno, this is a keffiyeh. So, a keffiyeh is a traditional Palestinian scarf. Now, I'm not Palestinian, but I
yeah,
am here standing up for Palestinian rights. A lot of the people that I know are not Palestinian. They are still standing up for Palestinian rights.
right,
But this is a symbol of freedom. This it's got like the road tracks. It's got the water, the fishing boats. It symbolizes a lot of freedom that
right.
Palestinians have. So when we wear this, we feel like, oh, we are with Palestine. So people are wearing these into school, and they are getting told to take them off, take it off in school.
Okay,
Um,
let me ask a vital question. Is it for spiritual or religious purposes or cultural purposes?
It is when I wear it like this on my head, it's spiritual. But when I wear it on my neck, this is more of a symbol of culture and peace. And oh, hey, I'm just reminding you, I'm
But
here for Palestine.
in spite of any of that, that's where we're talking about rights and freedom. Anybody should be able to follow whatever they believe.
Yeah.
And that's what we're fighting for. If you believe in something, right, that means there is some, like, who are we, human beings? We come there and we saw things running in the way, like, for instance, I'll give you an example. I'm looking on Facebook and from my country, and I see somebody puts up, oh, we're going to put our, now, before I go to that, our language is only 3 places in the world that speak our language, right? Now, for me, that's a treasure, right? Now, because as you know, before those people infiltrate into something, we are disarmed. Now, I trying to explain to the dude that come up with the idea, fellow St. Lucian friend of mine too, you know, and he's saying, and he come with the big, and he put the post, and everybody, yeah, it's a great idea. And I was the only one who opposed it and looking like I was negative or that thing. And I was trying to tell them, hey, we have the only one for self-defense, right? Where if shit goes down, we can communicate within ourselves. We will know how we identify who is who. And that's why it was created, right? But you want to come and interfere, and that's why our ancestors never had it written down. We learn it from our parents. All of us learn it from our parents, and it passes on, right? And it's always the parent duty to pass it on to the kids and speak that language. We don't learn it in school, right? And he said, so I tell him, and he was going and he says, oh, we'll think about it. I tell him, you better not do it because I will challenge him, right? You know, and these are the other things. So I tell him, how about you try and create a language? Because I learned how language was created, especially the English language. The English language is the most deadliest weapon you can ever think of, right? And this language was created by voodoo and spirits, right? And I'll not go too much into the details. One day we'll talk about that because I'm just jumping on different things, right? And this queen hired this witchcraft dude to do this because when they was invading the Caribbeans and the Spanish and all that kind of a thing, they needed a navigator, so they got this wizard to, and then he practiced for years. I cannot remember his name now. I'll look into it. Of learning how to get into the spiritual realm, and then he invoked this spirit, and within weeks he wrote a new language. Now, we have to remember when everything they tell us, like literally, everything you see that came from mainstream and we brought up with is not good for us most of the part. It's designed, So, again, going back to language. So I telling him, try and create a language to see how difficult it is for everybody, So if your ancestors create something, you have to respect it. We have to try, and everybody wants to come. Like, even again, last week I'm watching a documentary. Like every documentary I see in Africa, because I thought to myself, you see that COVID thing, I just want to go and live somewhere in the bushes from the time it have internet, right? So I start digging. All right, I see this tribe, and this guy comes in, and it's like he discovered it. Oh, they didn't even have a well. And I was just thinking, like, nigga, wait there. You trying to props yourself. It's your ego. Because those people have been there for centuries, and they're still alive doing the shit. And you come in like, oh, they're not advanced. Who the fuck? Well, how about, you were talking about your house a while ago. How about you just come to my house and just don't fucking criticize it, please, because that's rude. Just come and enjoy, right? And enjoy the view, the scenery, and everything, and get your ass back to your fucking country, right? But no, you want to come and say, oh, well, like I saw some African wrestling, which I just come across. I didn't know it existed. And they're saying, oh, is it dangerous? The white guy is doing the podcast. Is it dangerous or not? And I'm like, dude, how the fuck is your business if it's dangerous? These people have been doing the shit. How about just enjoy the shit and just shut up, sit your ass down and watch fucking human beings live, right? In the variety of colors of
however they want to live.
But no, they gotta live like they have to come under the law. Oh, it's not good. Oh, he's boxing without gloves. What the fuck, dude? So I'm saying, if in my with my understanding, if I have a tribe and those people come to nigger down, a lot of them won't make it past the airport. I'm telling you. Because, and that's why I understand they have a lot of countries that have restrictions and all that kind of a thing. Because they always have an idiot that want to come and act like he's clever than the
Mm,
gods.
mm,
And you know, we just live in something that's there already. Why? We come to enjoy the shit, right? We all collectively, it's so simple. We all can just enjoy the shit, share. And you say, hey, boy, you know what? Today I don't have money. I just tell my neighbor, just give me a cup of tea the next week. I just going to give you this and because I deal with bananas. And I say, I'll just bring some bananas for you. Shit going on. Like we batter. We do things with love. If we don't have the base, like I was saying, of things, although I have to say, I'm talking a lot, but the COVID did the opposite of what they was expecting. So that's why
mm,
the delay of our situation,
mm,
because they took a risk, right? And because they thought that it would more divide people. But the thing about human beings, we miss each other, and we dreaming all through the COVID of each other, whilst they divide in a way to separate us,
mhm.
that's why we're
Yeah.
talking on here now. But the thing about human I was talking about earlier on, we are very adaptive. You put us in a cell with just only white walls. When you come back, you would see some fucking thing we create. That's the power of human beings. So they try and put us in it, but we think you're right. You know what? We're taking over your net. And they pissed off. So they try to put rules on the internet. You see,
Yes.
because they wasn't expecting, they're thinking, okay, you'll block us from the streets. Hey, we're taking it to the net, right? Now, all of us have a voice now. They hate it. I'm telling you, because they wasn't they didn't bank the psychologist and the coat and tie that guy, when he came with the plan, he missed that fucking part because
Yeah.
he's not human, nigga.
Yeah.
Right? He missed the humanly part about us.
They
You
did it
know?
to me. They done it to me. I'm speaking out. I have a voice. I'm not afraid. I'm speaking out about injustices happening. Oh, I'm doing something I'm not meant to be doing. I am not fitting into that category. I'm meant to be a quiet Muslim girl. Sit down, be quiet, speak only when spoken to, listen to the rules, fill in this quota, be stuck in these rules and regulations. No, I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. And my WhatsApp was banned, and now my Instagram lives are still banned, but I can only join people's lives, which now I found this loophole. This is the first live I've done in like 15 days. So honestly, I thank you so much, Bruno, because
Oh no, thank you
everybody
too.
people have been on this live from the beginning, and they're saying facts on facts. They love you. Like, they're
Oh
just
no,
like,
no.
this guy, we've been
No,
searching for
it's
him
all up
all
to
my
you. I'm
life.
telling you. You see, people or we only resonate with what we are, right? I am not saying nothing new like I started with. I only can, what I want to do is just to knock on certain doors in your heart, you know? You say, hey man, like Bruno is around, and not Bruno the physical, but the word. It's part of you. It's part of us. Because the only reason why this is suppressed in us is just because they have had us on such a superficial level for so long,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And it's hard, it's, like I said, it's like if you're on heroin, you know how hard you have to stay to get away from it, right? To detox. The same way when you're around negativity, that's why when you tell some people positive things, they're ready to get angry. So you have to understand that the demon is coming out, because if they didn't get angry, you don't rattle the fucking shit. So
Hate.
that fucking demon, I rattle that demon. Now it's in shit now because every time it hears truth, it has to come out of that. That's how you detox somebody else. But you have to understand what the shit you doing. And because your aim is not to go and say, hey, whoop, somebody say you have to believe this, because that's not the aim. You just have to say, hey man, there is one guideline, and that's love. You see, like that, yeah. And you can build anything on that piece of land called love, and it will flourish. But if you build it, anything else on concrete, dude, shit is going to be hard for you, just like the concrete, right? Anyway, c'est la vie, you know. Anyway, I'm saying hi to Tasmania, and we got S. Smurf Fortin. I'm very bad at names. Azam, Love, Life. Whee! The styling of the names is, hey, top one. Yeah, respect to y'all every time. I love it.
You know, no matter what color we are, what race we are, what background, how we've grown up, there is a certain reason that we are all here today, that everybody here is watching, that me and you are speaking. Peace and love, exactly what my friend Huz is saying. We are all here for a purpose. It's finding
Yeah,
that purpose, building on it, again, not on concrete, not on quicksand. uh,
true, true,
and just
true.
building it from a place of love, because there's not enough of that in the world. There's so
Yeah,
much that puts us apart, but there's also so much that brings us all together. Like, I am the most liberal, open-minded, free-thinking person that I can think of myself. And I'm too open for some people. That's fine. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But again, remember, like, this openness will relate to other people who are just as open, if not more.
of course, of course. We all have, nothing goes to waste in the Almighty sight. You see, like we mentioned earlier on, a bicycle have different parts to it, and each of the, even to the small, just miss a bolt for you to see if the bicycle moving, right? So every little thing, even if the frame is big and this, and you pay more attention to the frame, but you miss a bolt in the back wheel and
Mm,
see how shit goes, right? So every piece plays a part, the same way as the Trump on the street, you know, and everything, you know. Sometimes you pass him every day, you don't say hi, but subconsciously, you know, respect is there, because sometimes you don't have to go out of your way to show people respect. I ain't saying that, because like for me, I respect everybody, even my enemy, and all that kind of a thing, right? I don't need to go out of my way, but whatever interaction we have, there will be the first thing, which is love and respect,
yeah.
right? You know, I give that. Again, another thing we human beings have to understand: when we give something, we don't expect back. You see, that's where the disappointment comes in. That's where the tussle comes in. This one to fight and the grudge. When you give something that is free, like love, respect, don't expect nothing back, because that person might not give you the love and respect back. You just have to just think, all right, you know what? I will not put myself in a position second time around, right? So there is second gear and there is third gear. Now, for those that have to be around the negative minded spirit people, let's say like in a workplace 24/7, you have to put third gear on them sometimes. Sometimes you have to pull them up on the side and say, let me tell you something, nigga. And whatever your mind think, you have to talk, because talking is important. You don't have to sit there and fight. You have to put it through the gears, right, of your morals. But then as a man or a woman, now let's talk about it, nigga. All right, everything you have done so far shows to me, when I wait, that you don't like me. Now that's acceptable, because not everybody should like me. But now we in a surrounding where we have to see each other, right? Now we gotta meet 50-50, right? Now, according to how we answer, you're giving him a choice, because that is the right we have to give people. Everybody have a choice. It's like you're going to check a girl, you're trying to chat up a girl, and you're not giving her a choice. You lie everything about yourself. You don't give her a choice to choose. And then when you'll already have maybe 3 rounds of sex encounters, and then she's finding out, oh, Jack is just a racer boy. She's like, what? Nigga, you dress more than the rest of it. You're like, well, I didn't tell you, you know. So you have to come as you are, because how it begins is how it ends.
Yeah.
You see, that's
Yeah.
what people have to understand. If you don't, that's why a lot of relationships do happen, because you know, when you lie to somebody, how much you have to play goalkeeper in your life, especially if that person is close to you. Because if you tell the person, oh, I was at Jack's house. Now, when you, Jack, all of you are sitting there having fun, you subconsciously trying to goal keep whatever Jack says, right? Because you don't want that person. And that's the way it is in general. In life, you know, if you lie about yourself to yourself, you goalkeeping you busy goalkeeping, but you know already what happens with a goalkeeper. There's always a striker who can just fucking score on you at some point,
Mm.
right? So you
It's a
better stop
game
the
of
fuck,
chance.
you know? So, instead of trying to goalkeep, just come clean as you are, which is the most important thing. Because you know, if you are rejected, ejected, or accepted, you know, because it was you. You're going to say, hey, you know what? Ah, it was me. I did tell her the truth, because in my Playboy days, right? You know, one thing I learned, and I have to be real about it. You know, when I used to tell girls the truth, I just don't get it. Seriously, it's like I come and I tell her the real truth of my feelings, and it's like, oh, and I try the other one, and I try my real truth. I'm like a real nigga. And as soon as I just bend the truth a little bit, oh shit, it's rolling. Hey, it's just coming in, But then you have to hold breaks and say, that's how the pattern of this evilest world we are. They make us practice. They always make us practice. How should I put it in the best way? To gain from negativity in everything, even with the system. If you have a dealing with the government, let's say tax or something, if you lie, you will get what you want quick and easy. But if you say the truth and you come and say, hey, well, I didn't do that, and they're going to penalize you. Like, you see, the system is designed like that. Now, who have eyes to see will see. But I see everything they design. You cannot go there and say the truth. You see? Even
Mm.
down to the courthouse. Like, really and truly, like, even that part, we have to have a separate conversation with those corporations and that kind of a thing, which people
I
have
think that's a
misled.
whole nother live we have to do now.
I know, because there is a lot of things we need to just highlight. And I want people to know it's not a complaint, but we need to highlight, because if you're in a boxing ring and you have a blindfolds on, you cannot see your opponent. Who you swinging wild punches. Everybody saying they, but who is the they? You need to come in the ring and you know your opponent. So now you're fighting as a man or a woman. You know you're jabbing at somebody, right? So we need to just get the blindfolds off, and see and know, oh, all right. And then you have a choice. You're thinking, oh, is that dude that's been talking about me for fucking long? And at least you know it's that dude. And you now can choose, you know what? He's a time waster. I'm going to use his energy to make my shit more, that kind of a thing. But if it's sometimes, but the way since we're talking about the system inflicts, it's like an infestation of your life and well-being. So they inflict. So we spend our whole life trying to dodge them. They're not leaving us alone, like you said it earlier on. They're not leaving us. Everybody that are free thinkers, why don't you just give us our own country and say, hey, this is a free thinking country. Accommodate for all the big mastermind people they have in position. Why did they accommodate some system where everybody is comfortable? Because we all have there are musicians. Imagine you growing up as a young man, your mom or dad wants you're a musician, and your neighbor is complaining because you play live music, because that's what you can, like, why don't, if you're a musician, there is a whole community. Some people building a bar, right in a neighborhood, a community, and then when it's 11 o'clock, now the adults that want to party, the neighbors complaining. So why you don't allocate things, design things in a way like, that's the noise area. You can find noise there anytime you want, right? Everybody have what they want, that thing. But you try to squeeze all of us and try and make us frustrated. But why I pointing it
But
out?
we're all
Because it's
being
on
pushed into the
purpose.
same box. We are all being forced into this little space that not all of us fit inside here, Like, it's not like we are not all made of the same thing. We are not all
True.
destined to be the same thing. We are all, again, individuals. That's what the system does. It doesn't allow you to think like an individual. You have to think like a robot. You have to think how they tell you to think. You have to do how they tell you to do. You have to act how they tell you to act.
True.
And when
True.
you reach the end point where you're like fully frustrated at this moment, when you're like, I'm done with your shit. Like, I don't want to I don't want to listen to you anymore.
I mean, for instance, like you, right? You have your turban and everything. You look marvelous. Now, I don't want every girl to look like you. Everybody have to have their own concept and everything, right? That's what makes the beauty of life, because everybody have their individual thing, which may be influenced by culture or influenced by the parents or whatever the influence is, or maybe by their own self, right? You know, but everybody have the right to have that kind of a thing. Another thing I need to point out about is how they make women think they were powerless. Now, I
Mm,
saw that tactic before it came. How women started fighting for a right they already had.
yeah.
If you are a man, a manly man, I mean, right? Men, women always have power over you. Like, so I don't know where women was coming, the stupid women coming and say, oh, we need power, rights for women. Let me tell you something. If maybe with the little gay guys you're dealing with, and I don't say gay in a way of that kind of a to class thing, but maybe with the girly guys, because nowadays it's girly boys that are around, and that's why maybe the women fed up, right? Because there's not men, and when I say men, you don't have to have a car, this or that, a man with a principle or something, right? So they run out of that kind of a shit now. So I can understand the women, but the system makes the women think that they don't have no rights, and make them go wild now, make them feel like, oh yes, if I want to take off my clothes, then that's freedom. That's not the type of freedom we're looking for. And I'm not saying again that is bad. You know, it has its time. It's like you're telling me if I have KFC every day for a meal. Nah, that's a sideline thing. You know, they're trying to push garbage as our main meal. No, I want fucking rice and that thing as my main meal. And maybe for a sideline, I'm on a hustle, and that's the closest thing I'll take a KFC, which it's not good for us. I'm not promoting it, that shit anyway, right? So, you know, but going back to the women thing, you know, they fool the women into destroying their own selves and create and implanting a hate, you know, a hate for men, a hate for well, here how the pattern goes. Men have it in a kind of a situation where the system designed to uh, just dismantle them, right? Now they make them, the women hate them because of the separation of men. Certain men couldn't get whatever, right, to the standards, right? Then the women, they come out with the gay guys. The gay guys hate, well, obviously the manly men don't really tolerate it to a certain point, because at the time we don't have enough education or to understand what the fuck is going on. So the girl sticks to the gay guy as best friends. Oh, he talks about everything with me, so he's a very good friend, whilst the gay guy is stealing all the attributes of the female, right? So they actually robbing you, and then they come with the transgender, right? The transgender now is another stage. Now all those stages, all those entities they bring it into is men like dogs, you see. But remember, women, real women have to remember, if they don't stand up for the men, when they think they're going to go and take all the women like they did in history and rape all the women, and they're defenseless because they have no man to protect them. So we need to look on the long term. You see? So again, it's not the women's fault or the men's fault, but it's the psychological division we have been under, that spell, you know, because not everything that glitter is gold. And I know that for sure. I've been watching them. I know them by heart. You see? And it spoiled my fun. It reached a time I was a party boy, and then I just reached in the party, and I'm just thinking like, nigga, what are you doing here? God gave you some fucking wisdom. And it's not, but it's not the party that's the problem. Because it's never the thing that's the problem. It's the way they're telling you to use the thing. Because they came and find the thing. It used to be like music. Music used to be soul feeling, this and that, and everything together. But they dilute it to a point where, like, you might as well, like, just disrespect one another. You know, like, really, you know, you just like, because they
Bruno,
call
there's
it not one.
something. Some men feel threatened of confident women nowadays. Do you think that's true?
Say that again.
Some men feel threatened with confident women.
Um, I mean, there are always categories of different type of people, and obviously, we inherit a behavior through certain, could be past strategies, present strategies, and this kind of a thing, right? Or insecurities kicks in when you can feel the person's motive. Because, you know, when two people in a situation, you know, we living in a system like they're just blaming that one person. There is unseen energy, right? You know, and when verbally that person is not, like, for instance, if I have a girlfriend, right, and we go out together and we partying and everything, right? Now we have the thing, and I see this guy comes up to her from a distance, and this guy is flirting with her, and she flirts back and everything, which is a normal thing, right? And then she comes back to me, I saw it, and they say, oh, so you're flirting, and she's like, no, no, no. Now you get to not to trust that person, because you're saying, you're trying. I would naturally feel disrespect. I'm thinking like, you insulting my intelligence here, right? Because now, you know, you just could have just come clean and we laugh about it, because that's a normal thing. But then, so that's where insecurities, little things like that in relationships. Now, when I say just relation, in every relationship, the little things are that implants where I trust that person next. Now, like I said, we create a behavior now. When two people together, let's say the woman is making more, she's more successful, right? But when they're together, he can feel that something is not wrong. He cannot point it out, but he can feel that, you know, it's not because of her success, his thing, because there's always like, you cannot point it because everybody have their own individual thing, but it all boils down to the connection and the energy at the end of the situation. So it's the two people. One have a hidden energy, and the other one have a verbal or expressive physical expression trying to express what they say, right? And if it doesn't match, and that, because when you're together all the time, y'all know each other. You mustn't forget that. You know, you all know each other spiritually, because sex is a thing that binds you spiritually, right? So you all know there is unspoken words that don't need to be spoken about. It just like when you became boyfriend and girlfriend. That wasn't really spoken about until, because y'all just get together and after maybe 3 times of sex and you think, okay, you know what? I'm hanging around Jack. Why not just make, if Jack is tasting everything, why not just like stick to Jack, right? You know, so it's not like, you know, so although they have different ways of, you know, connecting and that kind of a thing, but I just give it. So going back to your question again, did you say why they get intimidated, or do
I don't remember my question.
oh no, the question was about successful women in a relationship with a guy,
Yeah,
and the guy
do
feels
confident women
intimidated.
intimidate men?
But
Yeah.
yes, you could feel intimidated if you know that person is not working towards a goal for the two of you. If that person is successful and she comes home and she says, oh, I just got a Grammy today, you there as a boyfriend thinking, hey, she's on an I trip.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, it's not a we trip there. So what do you think that's going to implant? Because especially when you say in words something repeatedly, you even believe it yourself now. You see? It becomes, oh, oh, honey, I'm gonna, oh, oops, oh, and he's thinking, when he said, oops, oh, and he's thinking, oh, she didn't really want me to come, did she? So all that builds another insecurity. But it's not because she's successful, because every man wants a successful woman, and maybe if he just can chill and be the chauffeur and be the man, and she still respects him, I don't see anything in that.
But it can come down to ego as well. Like
No,
traditionally, men
it is an ego thing.
definitely, because men want to be that breadwinner. Oh, I'm bringing home the money. I'm putting food on the table.
No,
It's me.
but it's small in a relationship, you know. That frame of mind can be small-minded, you know, because really and truly, sometimes it's not lucky both people are successful at what they do, and that's where the love and that thing comes in, because everybody just knows their role, you know. You see what I'm saying? You know, and that's why I say it again. If you cannot accept your role, it doesn't matter. That's not even a man or a woman, you know, like I'm saying, you know, because the simple thing is love, you know. You see?
That's what we're all about here. Honestly, there's 12 people watching. I'm surprised. It's like nearly 1 in the morning. We've been on this
Yeah.
live for 1 hour, 45 minutes. Wow.
Is it? Wow.
That's
You see, I
crazy,
talk a
dog.
lot, don't I?
Honestly, a lot of people were asking when are we going to do it again. Me and Bruno are going to speak, and this might become a regular thing, guys.
Yeah, I
So
think we will try and do it every week or something. So have a chat, you
watch
know.
this space. I think Bruno is he's hosting this live, so he'll be able to save it onto this page, onto his page. So if you guys want to watch back at it or show your family and friends, once this live is over, you can share it from his page, and then I'll share it as well. Um, but yeah, I'm just excited to speak more with you, Bruno. It's been a roller coaster. We've spoken about everything from like
I don't know
war.
how to save it yet, but I'll try and find out.
Basically, it'll come up with like 3 or 4 options, and you just say, save to
Oh,
IGTV,
okay, okay,
save to
okay. Yeah, yeah.
IGTV, and then it'll
Okay,
automatically go onto your page. And once it's done, we'll all share it as well.
okay, okay, okay. That sounds cool. That sounds cool. You
But
know.
honestly, thank you all for watching. Thank you so much, Bruno, for giving me the opportunity to speak to you. And
Yes, you're
um,
welcome. Same to you too.
yeah,
Same to you too.
and I guess peace and love. That's the thought we leave you all with.
Yeah,
Um,
Tasmania.
yeah,
Yes, I want to say a shout out to Tasmania.
he's been on here from the beginning, man.
Ah, I do talk a lot, Tasmania, especially when it comes to world affairs. But thanks for listening. Miss Khan, carry on. She missed a lot. Well, what we're talking about, Miss Khan, our last topic we were on is talking about women and the different attributes and just how to stand, not how, because I don't have the blueprint for it, but just acknowledging that we stand on the basic as man and woman and don't rely on the exterior things to make us who or what we are.
Yeah,
You see? The exterior things, like I said, we are the cake. And if you want, you're going to put some icing. Some people like honey, whatever they want. But we have to just, just come with the real. Let's try this time in life. We just come with the one truth as much as we can per day.
please.
You
Yeah.
see? That is just the most important thing. Um, who else? We have Yanks use. Yes.
Young, who's dead?
Okay. All we need is
Love
love in
it
the
as well.
look. That is so true. All
I'm
we
gonna
need
find a
is
love
love in the
filter
world, and
actually.
that's not a lot. I mean, we have overused the word love, and it's not a cliche thing, but that is the reality we have been saying. All we need
Yeah.
is love. It's just that we haven't taken it in the sense. Some people take it in the literal sense. I don't know. They think it is huggy duggy. Sometimes I can tell you fuck you, and it's in the name of love, right? I'm just telling you, don't do that to another person. You know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Um, true. 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 Yeah. So if any of y'all 14 of y'all can ask questions now. We can just chill and just ask some light questions, not too heavy questions where I get lost in the desert, but just for either one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There,
somebody
somebody.
said, yeah, not just romantic. Okay, okay, I got you.
Honestly, sometimes it just comes down to using your logic in every single situation, whether it's relationships, whether it's work, career, life, world affairs. Like it just comes down to how you are as a person, how well you know yourself. Because how well you know yourself is what you project out into the world, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And if you're unhappy with yourself, you're always going to be a negative, hateful person. That's the energy you're going to put out in the world. If you're happy, you're content, that's it. Bottom line, you're going to show peace and love to everyone, and everything that you touch is going to be good energy.
yes, exactly. No, but that's true. You know the way I watch myself in this when I came into this world. Seriously, I always watching myself. I watch myself as somebody invite me to a party, and I come to enjoy it. I don't want to fight. I just want to enjoy the goodness of it, and that kind of a thing. But along the way, I suspect that going back to that, because I need to, the media just fucked up our brains. Every day you wake up, it make you think like your neighbor stabbed your cousin, you're this and that and that. And I telling you something, I have been in the baddest of bad boy ghettos. And when I say I've been, not just like walk there or that, I live that life. I've been in the highest of heights of liberty, right? And that kind of, and I'm telling you something, those people highlight the negativity like it's so much big. And I'm telling you, everywhere I have been in my life, I have met so many loving people that not even thinking of negativity. Maybe because I have a positive energy that everybody I meet, even gangsters, when I meet, I don't need, I around a lot of people with guns and I don't have to have a gun because, I respect it because I respect the fucking people, right? It's just simple as that. Now, they always say a thief have the most padlocks on his door. Why you think that's so? Because he knows what's going on. You see? The same with our system. That's why they have so many clauses and so many this, rules and that. You thinking life is just simple. Somebody step on your toes, they don't want to apologize, you take them to court. When you go into court, it's a simple matter, but then it blow up to all. They want to know where you shit last week and this one, and all that kind of, and it's a simple fucking matter. He stepped on my fucking toes, Your Honor, right? And I asked the dude to apologize or I would knock his lights out. And I fought to the second, right? I didn't knock his lights. I just want to take him to court. And you want to know where I shit yesterday. Yeah? And all that kind of a thing. And then they even come out with the wrong outcome in the
Yeah,
end.
yeah. Most of the time, especially if you're of color, especially if you are of color in a Western country, BAME, Black, Asian, minority, you have already lost your case.
Before we leave, I will just have a little talk about that color thing, right? That's another thing again the media has dragged us into. With the color, every time they want to distress harmony, they get into that racial thing. And we think it's for us, but it's against us. Now, the only way we can disarm that is when they start talking about the racial thing, we just have to ignore it now. Because it's been mostly used, when they highlight it, it is used against us.
Yep.
Mostly, to that certain point. And number two, all the people they say they're black in this high society, they're not fucking black, right? So I know that already. So, and to me, black is not even a color anymore. Black is somebody with a soul, right? Somebody with morals, understanding, knowledge, love, the basic of it. These principles, you can walk in any fucking door. You see? No matter who you are, because I met all different type of people. Like for me, racism never exists until when I hate them there and there. It don't exist, or I just don't know. Maybe because I am a real person. Because somebody knows if they just fuck with me, their lights get shut off, right? Maybe verbally, maybe psychologically, or whatever. But I never put myself in a position for somebody to. And plus, if somebody walking down the road and they say, "Yo, nigga," they say, "Oh, this nigga," that. Watch me. I accept myself as a nigga. Now, if somebody says nigga, why would I fucking make that such a big thing? So all the black people that's going to think. Now, as you was highlighting a while ago, yes, they do use that against us, but mostly it's in the system, not in our everyday life, because all of us have black friends and this and that and right? But it's in the system. That's where the black or the racial division is constructed. So as soon as you have to go into it, they use that against you, and then you come out to the people you're around like, but it's not us. Watch us. When we have a parade, do we choose who come up when we have a parade on the street or something? We don't choose. There's black, white. Everybody wants freedom. We all have a common goal, but they try to distract us all the time. But remember, the enemy is those people, meteorites, I call them.
That's a good
Right?
word. I'm going to use it.
You see? Now, it's these people that creating, because remember, with all the wealth and everything they have, they cannot walk on the street like us. They cannot say shit like us. They cannot even dress like us because everything they wear is paid for. They cannot,
Mm.
they cannot wear another brand because the other brand will call them and say, nigga, I'm taking the house. Right? They don't have, so they want to impose their restraints on us. They're
Us.
jealous of us.
Yeah.
And we, idiots, watching and seeing the video and we saying, oh, he's on a nice car. Ah, nigga, nigga, nigga. We all know if we was rich, we would not choose to have free cars in front of our house. I'll tell you that now. Because watch me, I live in central London. I don't even see a point of having that fucking big Ferrari. You're driving this car. Vroom, vroom, vroom. That's it. And sometimes I watch it and I'm thinking like, what? Like, really? Damn. You know, that kind of a thing. So to me, I don't see the fucking point of that. Whereas we can invest ourselves together and just not really put those people, just be self-sufficient within ourselves.
Yeah.
But that's easy to say. But we now, as the people, we don't like each other. We don't trust each other. As much as we're talking and all that thing, we don't watch each other grow. We don't help each other grow. You know, when I build a business, I will send the things to my friends. None of them watch it, but all strangers love it. But the people closer, so that's the other thing. Our close ones, we always have to prove to us just because they know our faults. But we have faults. Who wants me to be perfect? Well, I'm telling you one thing. I ain't trying to be perfect. You know, so anybody that's my friend, they better fucking beware because I ain't trying to be perfect. I'm trying to be fucking Bruno, right? I'm on this earth now in this fucking shit, and I do Brunastic shit, right?
we love
That's what
we
I
love
do.
Brunastic. Everyone watching here loves you.
Yeah.
You there.
Yeah. Brunastic shit is what I'm up to, you know. And everybody, I encourage you, you do your shit because it's gonna be interesting to me. Because when I flicking through the Instagrams and thing, and I thinking, oh, personality, oh, there's different. But if everybody's doing the same bloody shit, same personality, and same, you know, like, but the message has to be at the end, meaning the same. We're reaching the same direction,
Same goal.
the same goal, you know, and that's how we have to devise our kind of a thing, and slowly we'll wipe out those people, you know.
Because
We
it's
really,
if they tell us they're controlling us, we're believing every word that they say. In reality, if we come together and we reinstill, actually, I'm in control. Like, who are you? You're not controlling me. And all of us are singing from the same hymn sheet. We are stronger and united. We are resilient. We are a force to be reckoned with. And I think we should leave it on that note because it is very late and I need to wake up very, very early in the morning. I am at 7:30 in the morning. We are going to the factory and we are going to be harassing, should I say harassing on a live? We are going to be harassing and protesting, peacefully protesting outside the factory to
you
remind
gotta do what you gotta do, you
yeah,
know.
remind the workers
It's
of
always
the weapons
it's
they create.
always peaceful when it comes to love. I know nowadays we have to really establish with people of how we do shit, but before we just leave, I just want to say these words: a man and a woman. When you're standing up for something, there is different stages and different degrees, and you have to be prepared for that. Now, if I go to a physical, peaceful thing and I'm being antagonized by any fucking niggas talking about those trust me, that's why I don't go to protest because I know my character. Because you ain't fucking mistreating me. I'm telling you that. You know, because I'm a frontline soldier. I go to the death when I know I'm right.
Yeah.
You know, and because I know with those people, they don't have any type of reasoning and they're trying to, you know, antagonize, you know, that kind of a thing.
Yeah,
And you have
they
to try
do.
and be nice. But nice doesn't really pay. Realness and truth that pays, you know. Niceness, I just put that word out. So anyway, thank you everybody for listening and joining. And thank you very much, Farah, very, very much for having this chat with you. And
Let me
I
take a
hope we
screenshot. Let me
try and
take
do
a
that
picture of
every
it.
week.
Smile.
Although I don't like doing that sign because I know the signs and symbol, but they always have two meanings to them. But the more we speak, the more I will try and enlighten with what I know and what
Okay,
I
for sure.
like to discover, just so that we can protect ourselves. Because just before we go, subliminal messages and things we've been doing that destroying our own selves,
Yeah.
words we're using, you know, the simple little words like maybe and all those kind of things, all those things.
I feel like we have a lot to learn, guys. Like me and all the viewers, all of us can learn so much from
Yeah,
Bruno.
yeah, yeah. We need to
Honestly,
reprogram ourselves.
there
You
is
know,
so
just
much wisdom in all of the madness that we've spoken about. It may seem chaotic, but because I like the fact that we didn't have a focus and we spoke about
no, I don't
everything.
want to have a genre because
Yeah.
life doesn't have a. When you come out in the real world, shit happens. I go into the shop with my feet, with my flip flops and everything, and then I meet the most prettiest chick when I'm not prepared. And then another instant, I dress up well nice, smelling good, everything. Go to the club feeling like the shopper king, and nobody talks to me. Shit happens, right? So,
The
anyway.
Tasmania saying, Bruno, you are special, mate.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Thanks again, Mister. Thank you very much. Kifa, respect, and we'll try and organize that for next week. Today's what? Wednesday. We'll
Wednesday.
try and do that on Wednesdays.
Okay, for sure. Okay,
Yeah.
smile, Bruno. I'm going to take a screenshot.
Oh. So I need to find out how to save this shit, right?
Just make sure you click save to IGTV and it will be done. And it'll ask you to write a caption. You can write it and then tag me and I'll reshare it for you as well.
Okay, okay.
I'm gonna
All
love
right,
you and
bye
leave you
again.
guys. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Okay, thanks again.